Hello there. Today I'm going to run you through Pilates, especially focusing on your upper shoulders and back to try to bring a little bit of more openness. This session is going to be ideal if you've been sitting in front of the computer, if you have a little bit of upper shoulder tension, and just really good posture reset. So we're going to start at the wall, and I get you to come your feet about a foot away. Great. Your knees are slightly bent. Bring your head back. And when you're ready, you're going to tuck your chin onto your chest. And you're gently starting to slowly unravel your upper back and rolling towards your feet. So your hips are staying on the wall as you're doing this. And just allow yourself to glide all the way down. Take a full breath once you're down. And then bending your knees a little, you start to unravel your spine all the way back up. Make sure that you open the shoulders back on the wall and the head. And on the next breath out, we go again. Chin on the chest. And making the movement slow. So the purpose of this is starting to create a little bit of space in between the vertebrae. So there is the vertebra and then there is a little disc in the middle, and we want to just create space, make them soft. Running all the way down. Allow the top of the head to come towards the floor. Maybe just wiggle a little bit left and right so you leave all the tension and just holding the moment in your shoulders. And once again, bend your knees a little and start to roll all the way back up. So you remember, roll the shoulders back, head is back. Great. And just the last one. So chin on the chest. Pushing the spine on the wall as you're rolling down. Create space in between the discs. Roll all the way down. Top of the head towards the floor. Taking a couple of full breaths here. And on the next breath out, you're going to twist your upper body towards your left ankle. Just a little twist, creating a little bit of stretching behind the leg. Breathing back to the center. And as you breathe out, going to the right. Breathe in, coming back to the center. And gently rolling yourself, push the hips on the wall. Start to unravel the lower back. And slowly bring yourself back up. Roll the shoulders back. And there you go, starting to warm up your spine. Great. Okay, to stand a little bit away from the wall, coming into standing, and we're going to start to warm up the shoulders. So let's start with our Pilates position. So your feet are parallel, you're gently lifting the arch of your feet. So you don't want to have them completely flat. Just bring a little bit of tension, push your toes down onto the ground, bend the knees softly, and then you're just going to tuck in the tailbone. So imagine that this part is just gently going down, okay? And then put your hands on the hips, find your two hip bones. Imagine there is a line in between there. You just gently zip it in, as if you were to put in a pair of really tight pants. And then just gently relax. We're doing one more time, zip it in. And relax. And the last time you're just gonna zip it in, but not all the way, just about halfway through. And then you're just gonna hold it there. Great. So the lower body is set. Let's talk about the upper body. Hands on the ribs. And as you breathe in, you want to expand out. Well, this is still a zip, so just take a couple of breaths here, just find your position. It's always good to find your breath before we start doing anything. Great. Now, keeping all that in mind, as you breathe in, you're lifting your right arm to the center, and as you breathe out, you drop it to the side as you bring it in your left arm. So you're breathing in, arm to the center, and arm to the side. Keeping the soft knees, lifting the arches, starting to warm up the shoulders. So this can be a little bit challenging for your coordination if you find that. So just slow down the movement. Come back to the basic, coming up to the center, coming down to the side. And sometimes you don't get it right away, and that's okay. You know, eventually you will get there. Takes a little bit of patience and perseverance. Starting to warm up the shoulders. Great. And we're doing 5 more. Be really long in the spine as you're doing this. Voila. Great. So we want to stretch a little bit of upper body before we start, a little bit more of the strength component. So I'll get you to come parallel to the wall. And I want you to lean your elbow on the wall at shoulder height. Both your hips are facing forward, and when you're ready, you're going to take a nice, leaving the hand where it is, a nice long step with the outside leg, keeping the hips square. So don't allow yourself to roll towards the wall, but keeping the hips like headlights, they're facing forward. Tucking your chin a little. Open the shoulder. And you will find that the stretch is mainly in this part here, so in your pec major. So we're staying here for a good 30 seconds. Allow your body to be soft, and you can just push a little bit of weight in the front leg. You'll find a gentle pull in the calf of the back leg. And you keep breathing. And you can still think about zipping in here and just breathing to the outside. One more breath, and then you're going to step back up. This time you're going to bring your hand as high up as it goes. And once again, your hips are facing forward in a straight line. You take a nice long step with the outside leg, lean a little bit in. So what happens this time around, you're going to feel the stretch straight into your armpit. So it's different muscle, your pec minor, that's really responsible for bringing the shoulders back. A lot of the time, I see people stretching only at this height. It's not going to be super efficient unless you add the second component. So stay there and keep breathing. If it's unpleasantly strong, just maybe shift your body weight a little bit back. But allow the time for the body to open. Great, so we're ready to swap on the other side. Feet parallel, open the shoulders, tuck in the head. Elbow 90 degrees, and then you're taking a nice step forward, pushing the weight on the front knee, keeping the hips straight, keeping engaged. And this side feels a hell of a lot worse. Don't know what I did. So sometimes you'll find your left and right are quite different. If that's the case, if you have time, stay a little bit longer on the side that is giving you more grief. What we're trying is always to find balance, always to find symmetry in the body. And then one more breath. Gently shifting back, feet one next to the other, lift your hand all the way up. Straighten the shoulders, and once again, take a step, lean forward, feel it straight into your armpit. Keeping the hips like headlights, so you're facing that way. And keep relaxing as you're breathing in and out. Once again, if the stretch is too strong, you can shift your weight a little bit backwards. The good line of stretching is when you can feel it, but it's not excruciating. It's more about staying for a persistent period of time and doing them frequently rather than killing yourself. You can usually see the grimace on people when they've taken the stretch a little bit too strong. Great. So I get you to lift your shoulders all the way up to your ears, and then you're going to let them drop. And take a moment to observe where your hands are falling. So ideally you want to see them on the side of the seam of the pants. I don't have a seam here, but if you see the seam of the shirt, this is a good alignment. When the hands are here, you'll find that the shoulders are locked in. So these pec stretches are really, really good. And on the other hand, if they're already on the side, remember, we just done pec stretches, so it's a little bit of a cheat to do it afterwards. But when you're ready, you're going to come straight to the wall again. And I get you to come into a squat. So ideally, we're looking for 90 degrees. Straight line with your shin down to the floor, so you don't want your feet sitting underneath. Open the shoulders. Great. And just take the time to relax here. You can maybe open the hands on the side. Just focus on touching back with the wrists. just to take a little bit of the attention away from what is happening in the legs. So it's really, really important that you have your knees hip width apart. A lot of the time when doing squats, especially if you're not really strong yet, you see the knees collapsing onto one another. This is both in standing, but also the wall. So this is a little bit of a gentle way to start. We're doing one more breath. And then gently, all the way back up. Breathing, lift your hands. And you're bending to your right. Now in the side body to stretch all the way down. Breathing to the center. And exhale, going to the left. Great. Have a little shake. And we're going again. So coming down to the wall. Coming into your squat. Open the chest. Check your knees. Great. Relax your hand on the wall. So this time, just to bring a little bit of variety and still work on the shoulders, just gonna bring the elbows and the hands back on the wall. And you're gonna start to do some small semicircles. So the main goal is to keep both the elbow and the wrist on the wall as you're doing this. And if you are a little bit tight in the shoulders, this is gonna be really quite challenging. If you come off a little bit of the wall, it's not a problem, but just try to have the same pressure on both your left and your right. And we're doing one more breath in this squat. And once again, gently up, breathe in, hands to the ceiling, breathe out, folding onto the right, breathe into the center, and breathe out, folding to the left. Great. Have another little shake of your legs. Maybe just shake your quads, doing a lot of work here. And we're doing our last squat. So your choice to do back of the wall, or maybe in freestanding. If you're going freestanding, make sure your feet are hip width apart. You might want to rest each hand on each elbow and then just gently drop back as if you were to sit on a chair. Then lift your chest. Tuck in your tailbone as you're doing this and zip. Great. Relax your jaw and relax your face. And you keep breathing. If it's comfortable, you can go a little bit lower. So there is not a right or a wrong way as far as how far down you can squat. It's whatever your body can take. It's just to do with the biomechanics of your knees. And we're doing another 5 breaths, let's say. Keep it with me. Starting to feel my heart rate now. And on the next breath. Gently coming up, well done, good job. So we're going to go straight into a quad stretch. So you can just stay here and standing. And you're gently tucking your foot towards your bottom. Try as you're doing this to keep both the knees close to each other. Find the point of focus that you're gazing at. And once again, tuck in your core and breathe. Open the shoulders while you're at it. If you're really balance challenged, you can just be close to a wall for a sense of security. But give it a go to do it in freestanding. Now start to think about the foot you're standing on. And see if you can lift the arch a little bit. That was my knee cracking. Then one more breath. And as gracefully as we can down. We're going on the other side. So for me, one side is a lot worse than the other. If that's the case for you, it's also important to try to exercise this a little bit more on the side that is challenged. So remember, knees close to one another. Try to lift through your abdomen, engage. Find your point of focus. Breathe. So a lot of the time when you're doing balance without realizing, you're holding your breath. You can use the opposite hand to help you to balance. I'm doing 2 more breaths. And gently relax. Good job. Coming straight onto the mat. So we want you to tuck your legs on the left side and to bring the right hand on the ground. So when you're ready, you're going to breathe in, you're going to lift your right arm across, and as you breathe out, you're going to cartwheel it back and lift your right arm and come towards your feet. So we start to feel a stretch on the side of the body here and the shoulder. The main thing is to try not to have the arm in front of you but above you, so that you actually get the shoulder capsule stretch. And you bend as far as you can without breaking yourself. Coming straight down, so on your elbow. The hand is facing forward, open the chest, and when you're ready, you're going to lift the hip, lift the leg. Great. If this is comfortable, you're also lifting your head, so you can look up or straight ahead, depending on what is comfortable for your neck. Once again, think about zipping in and think about you breathing. We're doing 2 more breaths here. Gently tucking down, stretch across. Once again, I'm trying to keep the hand above myself as much as I can. And letting gravity doing all the work. Coming down. The elbow straight underneath my shoulder, open the chest, lift the hip, lift the leg. Great. Lift the arm, completely optional. And we're just gently starting to do some small circles. The legs, so keep in control here. Doing 2 more. And gently coming down, stretch across, reach long. Find that by the second or third repetition of the stretching across, the body's starting to get a little bit warmer. Can easily go a bit further. And just the last time, so you're coming down on your elbow, opening the chest, and then you're lifting yourself up. Option of arm up, lifting the leg. This time you're reaching behind you, and then you imagine you're kicking a football. So we're doing 5 of these. Reaching back and reaching long with the leg. Do 1 more. Reaching back, keep breathing, and long. Whew. Well done. Reach across, stretch. Maybe reach up with the other hand. Allow. Stretch, get a little bit deeper. Crossing the legs in front of yourself, give yourself a little hug, open the shoulders, and then we're going to come on the other side. So the legs are tucked onto the right, open the chest. I drop the hand, I stretch up with the right hand, coming across, starting to warm up on the left side of the body. Again, I'm making sure the hand is right on top of me, or as far up as it can go. Keep breathing. You might feel this stretch in different parts, so you might feel it here in the hip, you might feel it all in the side body. Sometimes you can feel it a little bit in the knee. And gently you're coming, dropping down on your elbow. The hand is facing forward, I'm opening the shoulders, I'm lifting myself up, I'm lifting my leg, lifting the hand. We're just doing a few breaths. Keep your jaw relaxed. And most importantly, keep breathing. Gently zipping your belly towards your spine. Engaging your shoulder blades. 1 more breath. And gently coming down. Straight across. Stretch. See if gravity can take you a little bit further this time. And then once again, dropping down. Elbow straight underneath the shoulder, the hand is facing forward. Lifting up the hip, the hand. And then we're doing some small circles. Keep control of your breath. 3 more. And last one. Oof. Stretching across once again, reaching long. Keep breathing in and out as you're doing this. Great, and you're ready for the last one. So dropping the elbow underneath the shoulder, the hand is facing out. I'm lifting the hip and opening the chest. And I'm lifting the leg, lifting the arm, and I have that imaginary ball that I'm kicking forward. Keep breathing in and out as you're doing this. Working all your side obliques. Virtually, you're going to get rid of your love handles. Now we do 2 more. Oof. Great. And stretch across. And once again, crossing the leg in front, open the shoulder, tuck the chin, and then gently rest the head towards the knees. Having a little stretch. Just a little moment to decompress. And when we're ready, we're just gonna come straight down and line in the back. So you want to have your feet, again, hip width apart, and then using your core, so using your muscle, you're just gonna allow yourself to slowly roll down onto your back. Open the shoulders, take a breath. Relax your hands. And on the next breath in, you're going to bring the right leg up to tabletop, so 90 degrees. And then the other one. So think about your neutral spine, that little space that you have underneath your back. And then you want to keep constantly the same as we're doing the different exercises. On the next breath in, I'll get you to lift your hands towards the ceiling. Breathe out, lift the hands as far up as they go, lifting the shoulders but keeping the head down. And then breathe in, coming down. And you're reaching all the way up and down. So if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more on a core aspect, you can perhaps have your legs at 45 degrees and do the same thing with your arms. Completely up to you. So lifting up. And try to have your left and your right working completely as mirrors of each other. So reaching the same height and working also the same speed. If this is a little bit too much, you can just completely have your feet on the ground as you're doing the same exercise, as this is mainly a shoulder positioning exercise. The legs in tabletop just add a little bit more of a core component, but it's optional. And we're doing 3 more. So reach all the way up, and each time you come down, feel the shoulder surface getting a little bit broader. And last one. Great. Hugging the knees to the chest. Have a little wiggle. Draw some small figures of 8. With your hips on the ground. Ease off the sacrum. So feet back on the ground, still hip width apart. And once again, breathe in, bring the right leg up, 90 degrees, engage. And breathe out, bring the left. So what happens if you don't have them at 90 degrees and you have them more towards you, you'll find right away that the core is not as engaged. So make sure that this is the right angle that is happening there. Great. And on the next breath in, you're lifting both your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Take a full breath here. Great. Next breath in, you're dropping right hand and left leg. And breathe out, come back up. side, right leg, left arm. And you keep alternating. So the main thing is to do this nice and slowly so that you're actually engaging. So we're gonna do a few of these, a little break. So what happens if this is a little bit too much for you? You can still have your arms up, and instead of doing the full leg drop, you can just do the toe taps. It's still efficient, just a little bit less. But less sometimes is more. So you choose what serves your body the best. As long as you're keeping really, really good control of your core. So you do one more per side. And then on the next one, you're just gonna bring your knees to the chest. Have a little wiggle. Good job. So the main thing is to try to keep good form all the way through. When you see people flying with the legs and arms really, really fast, chances are they really, really lost control. So think about again that tray of champagne that you're holding on your belly. So all the champagne glasses are just balancing there, and so the movement is going to be a lot slower than what you think. Great. So starting with your feet on the ground again, rest your hand on the mat, and then breathe in. Right leg up, 90 degrees. Breathe out, left leg. Breathe in both the hands. We're just gonna do, let's say, 4 more per leg. Okay, so as you breathe in, we're gonna drop. Breathe out, come back up. So try to bring the attention to your abdomen to make this movement really nice and slow, so that your glasses of champagne are not flying all over the joint. Be ashamed to waste. We have 2 more per side. And as you're doing this, make sure, again, you keep breathing, please. And last one. Great. Once again, knees to the chest. Have a little wiggle. Be side to side, maybe figures of 8, whatever serves best for your body tonight. Or today, depending if you're doing this in the morning. Great. Relax the feet. Relax the arms. And on the next breath in, you're bringing right leg to tabletop, left leg up. And we're doing some hundreds. So you're tapping from the shoulder all the way down to the hand. Imagine you have 2 little pools of water beside you. With your fingers, you're gently tapping. So first variation will be to keep the legs here tabletop. Make sure again that the tabletop doesn't mean the legs bent at less than 90 degrees. So you actually want to be here in order to be engaged. If this is challenging for you, maybe just do 10 like this, and then just maybe drop one foot and keep one leg up. And then slowly bring in the other leg up. Turning around. And as you're doing this, you're actually focusing on your shoulder blades. So just try to feel your shoulders flat on the mat. Keep breathing. If 90 degrees is not strong enough, again, you can put your legs straight and the engagement is a little bit stronger. So choose whatever serves you and keep breathing. If you need breaks in between, simple solution is knees to the chest and just having a little hug. Just find your breath again, and then you're gonna start again. And we're gonna go for another 30 seconds. Keep breathing. And got another 5, 4, 3, 2, and great job. Knees to the chest, well deserved. Once again, just gonna go in straight stretch to the lower back. So you're gonna bring the right heel onto the left knee and bring your leg up towards your chest. Relax your jaw. Keep your necks flat on the ground. So if you don't find that you can easily reach your shin, maybe you can reach your thigh. If you can't do either without being up here, maybe you can use a belt to bring the leg towards you. So I get you to wiggle a little bit left to right and find the point where the stretch feels the best. And then, like usual with any stretches, we're going to stay here and breathe. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed as you're doing this. One more breath. Right, we're going to swap around. So left heel, right knee. And again, you're going to reach the thigh or the shin, whatever works for you, with or without a belt. Again, you're going to wiggle a little bit left to right. Find the point where the stretch feels the best. Close your eyes and breathe. And on the next breath, you're going to gently drop your leg, both feet straight back on the ground. Check that the knees are hip width apart. And bring the feet as close to your bottom as comfortable. Relaxing the hands on the side of you. Great. So on the next breath out, you're just going to peel your sacrum off the ground. You're going to start to lift yourself up all the way. So imagine you have something really sharp sitting underneath your bottom, so you push in those hips all the way up. Taking 2 breaths, and then one vertebra at a time. Same movement that we're doing right at the beginning of the class. You're lowering yourself down, touching last with the sacrum. Then on the next breath out, once again you're reaching all the way up. And then, after your 2 breaths, you reach down. So we're doing 40 of this. You can take a break whenever you need a break. And if you can't do 40, then do 20. Peel off. Come up. So when you're up, you want to really engage your glutes and squeeze in. And then you're coming down. So other common mistake is to have the knees collapsing, same as we were talking about with the squats. So just try to really focus on the legs staying straight. And keeping the same distance. And gently rolling down. Don't forget about your breathing here. So some of you, when you're doing this at home, you might be going really, really fast and doing your 40 in the time that I do 20. But guess what? We actually have to respect the same time. So if you have done 40 in the time that I have done 20, that's completely okay. Have a little break, but then you're gonna start again and do a few more. Remember, speed is always your enemy. But you're very, very welcome to take a break at any time. And also just keep respecting your body. So if 40 really is too much for you, don't need to get there. You do that another day. Just gonna have a little break. I'm gonna drop my knees to one side and then to the other. Great. And starting again. Starting with the sacrum, peeling off, pushing the hips high. So what if in case, if this is not really quite strong enough, there is different options of things that you can do. You can, for example, come straight up onto your toes and push your bridge higher. That is one option. Other option is to actually do one single-legged bridge, so coming up. And then when you're doing your 2 breaths, you're lifting one leg, either straight ahead or all the way up. And then coming down. And then on the next, you're going to swap it around for the other side. And lifting up or straight across. So the main thing is, if you're doing one-legged bridge, what happens a lot of the time is that you're actually falling down with one hip. So try to really focus on keeping both hips the same height. When I teach this often, I get the support of a brick that we put underneath, just to make sure that we're not dropping one side, because especially when you're on your own and you don't have anybody observing your technique, this is something that can very, very often happen. So I'm very happy for you to go there, but just try to keep awareness. You could just simply put your hands into fist just underneath, and if you drop a lot, you'll be already able to see that you're touching down. But in Pilates, we always try to bring awareness back to the body and find precise movements. I've done 20 now. Once again, I'm just going to drop my knees to one side, back to the center, and then the other side. And we go another 20 to go. Yay! So lifting up, 2 breaths, and gently coming down. So what can you do for your shoulders when you're doing bridges? Is as you're coming down, you can lift your arms and then gently dropping across. You would open yourself in the chest, and then as you breathe out, you're dropping down, you can gently come up. So we might do the next one 10 like this. So breathe in, start to lift, push your sacrum, your hand, reach it all the way up. And then gently coming down. And once again, focus on your movement being nice and slow. Without jerking, engage in the muscle, push the glutes up, reach long, and coming straight down. Just got another 2 to go. Push up. Great, breathe. And last one. Push up, hold, and come down. And once again, you're gonna bring your knees to the chest this time, and gently ease off. Maybe we go side to side, or figures of 8. Excellent, so we got another 10 to go. Again, I'm bringing my feet as close to the bottom as possible. And the knees are the same width of the hips, the hand are relaxed down. And breathe out, lifting up. And I'm gently coming down. So once again, you can choose your option. You can choose arms up. You can choose one-legged, or maybe you want to work on your toes. One option is not better than the other, it's whatever works for you tonight. And I'm focusing on my breath as I go up and down. I've got another 3 to go. Nearly done. Excellent. And just the last one. So lifting up, push. And gently coming down. Great job. Once again, knees to the chest. Take a well-deserved break. And then exhale, bring them as close to the chest as possible. Inhale, rock a little bit back, holding still the knees. Exhale, knees to the chest. Inhale, stretch the arms, keeping the head and the shoulders on the ground. Great. So coming straight up into a seated position. And we're getting ready for some more strength stuff. So now that we have worked onto our glutes, some of our obliques, we're just going to do some planks. So your option of doing planks from your knees or straight from your feet, but just try to focus on your technique. So you want to have your hands straight underneath your shoulders. So just bring the weight onto your hands, or if you prefer on your elbows. For me, it's always hands, it feels so much nicer. Bring the shoulder blades in, and then you can either stay here and create a straight line between your shoulders on your knees, or if it's comfortable for you, you're gonna push one leg straight, and then the other one. You might need to readjust your hands as you're coming up. Push the heels towards the wall behind you. Engage. Find your breath. And start to create a little bit of body heat. So it's really, really important to keep your legs active. So by active, I mean pushing towards behind you. So the more you engage your quads and your calves, the less pressure on the upper body. Again, think about those tight pants and you're zipping in, or a jelly bean in your belly button. And then finally think about your head. And just gently tuck your chin. And then on the next breath out, oof, knees down. Excellent work. Dropping the head to the ground and forward fold. Taking another couple of breaths, relaxing your body. And once again, we go again. So hands are the same width of the shoulders, and you can just lift yourself up. Charging the weight straight on top of the palm. The fingers are spread, the heels are pushing backwards. I'm engaging, I'm lifting the belly towards the spine, the shoulder blades, I'm bringing them in, and I'm breathing, or trying to. Keeping the legs active. If your body's starting to shake, just the muscle being used. If you find that your form is going out of the window, you can tap down and do a knee plank. But otherwise, you're doing another 5 seconds. And gently down. And once again, fold again. So this time you're bringing your hand, your left hand all the way to the left, right hand on top, stretching on the side. Taking a couple of breaths there, feeling the stretch all in the side body. And then on the next breath in, you bring the right hand all the way to the right, left hand on top. And again, sit back. And feeling the stretch all the way in your left. Great news, so we have just one more plank left to do. So prepare yourself, find your breath, think about your core. Once again, hands on the ground. If you don't find hands convenient, come down onto your elbows. And you can do this from your knees or all the way straight up. Find a way, have the elbows facing each other. Push the heels. Engage, tuck the head in gently. Bring the shoulder blades in. Breathe. After this, you're allowed cake, or in my case, dinner. And another 5. And as you exhale, coming down. This time I'm bringing the hands beside me, resting the head, flopping. Find your breath again, relax the body. Great, and we're just coming straight into our cool down. You're gonna be lying on your back, bend the knees, open your arms at 180 degrees. And as you breathe in, lift your knees. As you breathe out, you're gonna drop them to the left, the head goes to the right. Within your own breath, gonna alternate from one side to the other. The head goes one way, and the knees go the other. Allowing a side and abdomen to stretch, as well as the hip, the pecs. You do this within your own rhythm, but never skip the cool down. As if you skip the cool down, you always feel a lot more sore the following day. And keep alternating in the head and the knee in opposite direction. And on the next exhale, when you drop the knees, you're gonna extend the top leg, reach your hand towards it if it's comfortable for you. Head is the other way. We're doing 5 breaths here. You feel the stretch in the back of the legs or the hamstring. Trying to really keep the opposite shoulder flat in order to maximize the hip stretch. One more breath. And once again, knees to the center. And on the other side. And reaching. Top leg towards the hand. And we're doing 5 breaths. next breath, back to the center, have a little wiggle. Great. Hinging the hand underneath the knees and rock yourself back up into a seated position. Find a position that's comfortable. It might be with a crossed leg, it might be samurai, with just your feet tucked underneath. Take a moment to open your shoulders, tuck in the chest. Breathe in, lift the hands, and breathe out. You're going to gently fold forward. Allow the forehead to go towards the ground. And gently start to walk your hands towards your left, twisting your upper body. And then gently walking towards the center. And twisting the other way. Coming back to the center. Breathe in, open the chest, interlock the fingers behind you. And as you breathe out, you fold and you can lift up in a final shoulder stretch. If this is too much, you can rest each hand on each forearm, drop your head down, and then lift. And this will give you a gentler version of the stretch. So whatever works for you. The next breath in, coming all the way back up, open the shoulders. Great, and you're well done. So thank you for doing some Pilates with me. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to put them in the comments below. And